Hey guys, it's Brooks. Welcome to my channel, and we are doing Ask Brooks number 2. This is where you guys ask me your questions and I answer them, try and give you guys as much value as I can. Let's dig into your questions right now. First question is from Jordan. He wants to know, what are your goals in the next year, and also what are your goals 5 years from now? So let's touch on 2019. 2019 for me, I really want to train to compete. So I want to train to compete in CrossFit. So that's one thing I'm doing out in my garage gym every day, training 3-4 hours a day to compete in the sport of CrossFit. So I got a lot of work to do there. Also, I want to build more of an adventure brand. You'll see on this channel, I'm sharing a lot of fun adventures, traveling a lot of places in the world with a lot of really awesome people. So adventuring and fitness are two things I'm passionate about, and I want to use those avenues to inspire you guys to do whatever you want in this world, create the life that you want. So that's what I'm trying to build in 2019. 5 years from now, if I'm looking out that much further, I'm thinking kids are probably in the picture. Within 5 years, I'd probably like to have kids. That would be really cool. And who knows where I'll be 5 years from now. I mean, I'm trying to get through 2019, but just keep building things that I love, absolutely love doing with my life, and some sort of career will reveal itself there. Second question from another Jordan, different Jordan, but another Jordan. What is the best part of your day? What a question. Because I get to do whatever I want with my day, I mean, there's a lot of amazing parts of my day. One, I love just waking up to my wife, knowing that I have the love of my life in my life. Waking up next to her is awesome. Working out in my garage gym every morning. My training, that really fulfills me in the course of a day. The training that I get to do, how I get to push myself and develop new skills every day. That's awesome. A creative development in the course of a day, working with this man right here. Just give him a wave. Austin, there he is. Okay, there's his hand. Creating stuff like this for you guys, being able to engage with you guys and offer some value into the world. It's now a new stage in my life where I want to give back to people. Professional sport is done, but now it's a new chapter, and what do I want to do with this? And the creation, the opportunities within that are very exciting as well. So those three things I would say are my favorite parts of the day. Here's a hockey question from Dalton. I love when guys send me hockey questions. What was the biggest key for you to make the jump from the AHL to a full-time NHLer? So that's from the minor leagues to the pros. Wow, man, Dalton, that's a great question, dude. How do I even answer that? In order to make it from the AHL to the NHL, you have to unseed somebody, right? So you have to come in and take their job. So there's somebody in the NHL that you have to come in and play better than and unseed and kick them out. So you have to have something that stands out about you. Whether are you a skater? If you're a skater, man, skate. If you win face-offs, win every face-off. If you're a defensive player, lock it down. Whatever it is, what do they know you as, Dalton? So the skill set that you have has to be something that the professionals, that the NHL team is looking for within that organization. They're like, we need this skill set. This guy does this. Also, at the NHL level, you cannot miss. So you can't miss a check. You can't lose that face-off. You can't miss a pass. Everything is on the money. So passes are on the tape. People are in position. Forecheck, back check. It is automatic at the NHL level. If you are not at that level, it becomes very apparent right away. NHL players, you can see them, you can pick them out on the ice. You know that they are professional, consummate in their approach, everything, how they execute on the ice. And if you're not that, you stand out in the wrong way. So I would say be a consummate professional, execute every single time at the thing that you are exceptional at, and then also train your weaknesses and start developing those as well. Wow. Christy says, if you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why? And it has to be somebody you've never met. All time. You can have dinner with one person. I mean, 19-year-old single guy, you're probably choosing like some sort of pop star or something. If I can have dinner with somebody, I think one person that really comes to mind, that just because I'd love to ask him about, Abraham Lincoln, on how he had the confidence and the will and what he saw to bring about equality and the 13th Amendment. I mean, that was just such a turning point in history. So to have that conversation would be exceptional. Somebody that's alive right now, I would actually love to have a conversation with Barack Obama, just to discuss leadership and pressure and how he leads a country, a nation, a world. I think that would be a very powerful conversation as well. Man, Christy, what a great question. I could probably go all day on this one. I just named 2 presidents. I'm Canadian. I'm naming 2 U.S. presidents. But powerful men that have made exceptional decisions, and I love leadership. So people that something to do with leadership is amazing to me. That would be somebody I'd really want to learn from. Katie has a great question. If you wake up not feeling it, do you have a mission statement or something that reminds you to stay at it? I wouldn't say I have a mission statement or anything, any sort of quote or anything that propels me to stay at it. I would say it's habits that I've built. So habits are something you can rely on. So when you wake up, I have habits. I know that I'm going to train. I have my day planned out. So I have some preparation already. Yesterday I prepared for today, which allows me to achieve a desired result. But if I wake up and I'm not feeling it, I've built the muscle, the mental muscle that the body doesn't negotiate with the brain, that I tell my body what I want to do. So in the course of a day, whether it's fitness, whether it's some sort of work I have to do, some creative development I have to do, I have this tool here that I've developed and strengthened over time to allow me to push through the times where we're not feeling it. Trust me, there's mornings I wake up and I don't want to do certain things, or I'm tired, or my body's sore, but the body doesn't negotiate with this. This drives the bus. So I would say start developing mental strength, but also start developing habits and have some preparation the day before so that you can succeed the next day. Sophia asks, how do you manage to consistently schedule in a workout in your busy day? That's the easiest question actually for me. I schedule nothing before 11 a.m. And you can ask this guy right here, ask Austin. I'm unavailable before 11 a.m. So from the time I wake up until 11 a.m., that's my play time. That's my training time out in my gym. I am not on my phone. I am not accessible. You cannot get me before then. So that's how I protect that time for myself. So that guarantees every day that I get to exercise, I get fitness, I get to express myself, challenge myself physically, train for CrossFit the way I want to, and it's never interrupted.
If I get to Brooks's house before 11 a.m., I need to bring my workout shorts or something.
It's burpee time.
It's burpee time. So I usually get here around 10:45, and then that's when we start our creative development, our work. Yeah.
I make him do burpees. Actually, you do burpees. You actually like the ring holds.
Yeah.
He likes the ring holds where he gets to hold. He's building up those pecs for the young ladies. Wow, powerful question here, Amanda. What is the place or experience that has had the biggest positive impact on your life? So this is the truest story I can ever tell you, and one of my life-defining stories. I'm going to share it with you. When I was 12, 13 years old, my mom had a conversation with me during a baseball tournament where I was struggling. I was struggling with confidence. I wasn't getting hits, and I was crying in my bedroom. True story, I was crying. And my mom came in and had a conversation with me, and she said, you're hoping to hit the ball. You're not knowing you're going to hit the ball. And there's a difference between knowing and hoping. And that moment right there, everything switched for me. She basically hardwired confidence into my brain. And that's one of the absolute greatest gifts my mom has ever given to me. But from then on, I just bet on myself, and I had an unbelievable confidence in myself. But I didn't have it. And then my mom made me just realize that somehow she gave me this gift, and she hardwired confidence into my brain, into myself, that I always had a belief in myself. And that was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, single life-changing moment of my life. Oh, here we go. Katie wants to know, do you have a brother who's as awesome as you and single? No, Katie, but Austin is. Austin's awesome, and Austin's single. Do you want to say hi to Katie? Come give Katie a wave. Here he is. Here. Oh, no. Look him up on Instagram, @AustinCP. Put it right there, buddy.
No,
Gets you some clicks.
You should cut that.
No, I'm not cutting that at all. Never. I'm never cutting that. Krista Mueller asks a great question. How did you get into bodyweight training? So bodyweight training is essentially the basis of all athleticism. The ability to move your body weight through space. That's life. If you want to be an athlete of any kind, just in general life, moving your body through space is something you have to be able to do. So bodyweight training, that specific question came from growing up in a community where we didn't have a gym. There was no gym in my hometown, from a town of 600 people. There was no weights, there was no nothing. I had to start with bodyweight training. How I got into Open Gym, which is our fitness app, is my wife and I travel quite often to these amazing destinations that there's no gym in sight. Sometimes we're on a boat in the ocean, and I still want to get fitness in. So that's where, using your body weight, you can get an exceptional workout. But it came from being a kid growing up in a community where resources and amenities were nowhere to be found. So I had to find a way to create the circumstance that I wanted. Wow, boom. Here we go. Kimberly, what 3 things are you thankful for every day? Whew. One, I would have to say, my wife. Grateful that my wife is in my life. Absolutely. The love of my life, my best friend. Obviously, absolutely grateful for my wife. The second, you know what? I'm actually really grateful for living in a free country, a country where, not saying bad things don't happen, but a country where generally we can walk out our door, we can walk down to a store. We don't have as many things to fear, which I'm very, very grateful for. That got really serious there. That got serious, but I am extremely grateful for how safe the country is that we live in. The third thing, the thing I'm really excited about, I'm grateful for the breath in my lungs, and I'm grateful that every day is an opportunity, that I get to create, do, live whatever I want in this world. Having that, the world is an opportunity, and having that outlook, mindset, and way of life is just the most powerful thing. I am so grateful for that, and I'll do whatever I can to protect it and make sure that that's present the rest of my life. Chrissy asked a great question. I love this. What do you find the most rewarding part of traveling? So really, I get 2 main things when I travel and adventure. I receive gratitude, an immense amount of gratitude, and I receive an immense amount of inspiration. So those 2 things become so present and apparent in my life, and it makes me want to adventure and travel more, but it also makes me excited to come home and do something with that inspiration and that gratitude. Do something that serves people, create something in the world that I'm passionate about, and line up another adventure. Bobby Burns asked me, when did you first discover CrossFit? So this is really interesting. 4 years ago, I moved to LA, and I asked a good friend of mine, Lewis Howes, I said, where do the athletes train in town? I went to a Gold's Gym, I went to an Equinox, and it was just a bunch of machines and stuff, and I was like, no, where are the athletes in town? He told me, try this CrossFit place. So I went to Brick CrossFit, and I walked in, and I found all these phenomenal athletes just moving in a way that I'd never seen before. There was no equipment in there. There was just an open floor where athletes could express their movement patterns. And I tried CrossFit that day for the first time. My coach, C's, put me through 30 different tests, and I failed every single one of them. Couldn't do an overhead squat, couldn't do a handstand push-up. All these tests that he put me through, I failed every single one of them. And at this time, I had played in the NHL for 12 years, so I thought I was a world-class athlete, and that day just kicked my ass. So then I said, I need to start doing that. That's going to improve my overall athleticism, and it's absolutely blown my mind, and now I live in that space every single day.
Do a funny one.
Funny one. So sometimes I scroll through these questions, and I see people I know, like my brother-in-law, who lives with us, has lived with us for 3 years. Derek Huff asked me, why do you poop so much? You know me too well, D. You know me too well. Protein and fiber. That's about it. Moving on. Oh. Rob asked me this question. What's the oddest thing a fan has asked you to sign? To be honest, Rob, I've had some women go like this and want their chest signed. That's true. That has happened. Signing their baby's face. Somebody once asked me to sign like their baby's face, and I was like, I can't sign your baby's face. And then they said, can you sign the arm? I'm like, no, it's a baby. I'm not putting Sharpie marker on a baby. I do remember one time this young kid, probably about 8 years old, asked me to sign. He's got these brand new white shoes, and he's like, can you sign my shoe? And I'm like, that's kind of odd, sign a shoe. I'm like, I don't think I should sign your shoe. Your mom's probably gonna get mad at me. And it's gonna wreck your shoes. He goes, oh, that's okay. My parents are divorced. My dad will just buy me a new pair. I signed the shoe, but I was like, oh man, you're working that system. That's it for Ask Brooks round 2. This is so much fun, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate your questions. You can go to brookslike.com to ask me your question. And if you got some value from this, please share it with a friend. Come back to my channel, subscribe, and we'll try and get more videos up like this and answer all of your questions.